Sandy says read, and welcome to the channel. You guys, tonight we are going to do a booktube tag. This is the 10 before the end booktube tag. That's right. I am going to kind of sort of commit to reading the next 10 books that I talk about before the end of the year. You guys, I saw this at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. I saw this tag over at his channel like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that, in October, right? When it would have been very logical to come up with 10 books I was going to read before the end of the year. Very doable, a challenge that could be met, right? And then I didn't get around to doing this, and now it seems not insurmountable, but more challenging to read 10 books between now, which is November 10th, and the end of the year. Boy, it just seems a little bit more challenging because, I do have a day job that gets in the way of the reading stuff sometimes. Not complaining. I'm very thankful to have a day job. I like my day job. Okay, so where did I see this first? Was at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff, but I also have seen it all over BookTube now. Ever since I saw it at Jim's channel, I've been seeing it speckled throughout BookTube. Most recently, I saw it at More Affirmative. She did this tag just a couple days ago, right? Like 3 or 4 days ago, she uploaded her version of this tag. So I will put a link to both Jim's channel and the More Affirmative channel below so that you can go see how they tackled this tag, okay? And you guys, true to form, we're going to be cheating with this tag. Oh yeah, I'm going to cheat. Because when I listened to Jim talk about the tag, he made a comment that you're supposed to be, picking 10 books from your shelf that are not part of a challenge that you're already involved in. I ain't got the time. Sorry. I'm going to be using books that are part of the Christmas reading challenge because I've got a bunch of books I need to read to finish off the Christmas reading challenge. I've already read a few, 4, 5. I've already got a couple of the Christmas books under my belt, and I need to film those reviews and bring them to you. But I'm thinking about waiting and starting that Christmas content for you guys in December instead of middle of November. There's some folks who get a little touchy about Christmas things landing before Thanksgiving, and Okay, so we're going to start this tag in just a moment. First, I want to welcome you guys to subscribe to the channel. Please welcome your friends to subscribe to the channel if you have friends who enjoy bookish content. Because you guys, this is a booktube channel where we talk about books. We do book reviews. We do booktube tags like the one we're going to do here. It's all bookish stuff all the time. If you enjoy that, this is the channel for you. And please click the bell notification icon so that you are notified each time a new bookish video lands. That's it. Shall we begin? Let us begin. The first book on this stack, and these are in no particular order, you guys. They're just how I pulled them off the shelf. Okay, the first book on the stack is The Christmas Train by David Baldacci. Just about butchered his name. I'm sorry, you guys. David, this book was released in 2013, so it has been a hot minute. It has been out and about for the world. So after I read it and I bring you the review, I probably will bring you all the spoilers and talk about it in all the ways because you guys, I looked at it and I read the inside flap stuff, and it sounds like, it feels like it's going to be that Hallmark Christmas movie vibe, and it's just going to be like fun and hopeful and Christmassy and delightful, right? It just feels like it's going to be one of those. And because it feels like it's going to be one of those, we're all going to know how it ends, no matter what I say. So I think that when I do bring you this one, I think I'm going to give you all the spoilers and all the fun fluffiness of it. And yeah, I think this is going to be joyful. I think a few of these are going to be joyful. Okay. All right. So there's that one. The Christmas Train is the first of the 10 before the end. Here we go. Next up on this stack over here is Christmas Bells. And I'm going to butcher this author's name. I apologize right now. This is by Jennifer Chiaverini. I'll just stop now. You guys can see it there on the screen. There's Jennifer. This is Christmas Bells. And this one, it's got a Christmas song, A Christmas Carol, as its foundation, and it just sounds so delightful and also fun, like the Christmas train. I mean, it just has this message of like hope. And let me read you a little bit. Okay, I'll refrain from singing the Christmas Carol for you. Okay. Let's see, in 1860, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Henry Wadsworth Longfellow family celebrates Christmas at home. But although Longfellow is surrounded by his beloved wife, Fanny, their 5 adored children, and many dear friends, the country's grave political unrest weighs heavily on his mind. In present-day Boston, Sophia, a dedicated public school teacher, is stunned by somber holiday tidings as her music program is sacrificed to budget cuts, her students to the realities of the inner city, and herself to impending unemployment. I'm sorry, guys. I have ancient eyes. It's just a little difficult for me to read this reverse type. Okay, sorry. The 2 stories become entwined when, inspired to honor a local artist, Sophia chooses a carol set to a poem Longfellow wrote on Christmas Day long ago, a profound affirmation of faith and hope, born of the poet's deeply personal grief. Jennifer's resonant and heartfelt novel for the season reminds us of why we must continue to hear glad tidings even as we are tested by strife. Reading Christmas bells evokes the resplendent joy of a chorus of voices raised in reverent song. And doesn't that just sound lovely and hopeful and joyful? I'm looking forward to reading this one and bringing it to you here on the channel. All right, there we go. Next on the pile of 10 before the end, Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop. This one is by Jenny Colgan. And you guys, I ordered this one specifically for the Christmas Reading Challenge. And then I realized this is a sequel to the Christmas Bookshop. And I haven't read the first one in this little duology. So hopefully that won't matter. I've looked at, kind of the synopsis of it, and I don't think the first book is going to be like vital to my enjoyment of this one. We're going to find out. We'll find out together, and I will bring you the review of Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop in December. Okay, the next one on the 10 before the end stack is Because of Bethlehem. Love is Born, Hope is Here by Max Lucado. And this one, look at that. Isn't that a nice cover? Very, very minimalist, pretty, very nice design. And this one is nonfiction, and it's just a message of hopefulness and brightness and Christmas. And that's what I was after. So I'll read this one and bring you a review of that in December. Now, the next 2 on, oops, knocking stuff over, you guys. The next 2 on the pile, I think I'm going to read both of them and bring them both to you in one like encapsulated review, because one of them, everybody knows the story. This is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Here we go. Isn't that pretty? It's very nice. And Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. Now, this book right here, I'm telling you guys, it was on like the Amazon recommended reading thing for, I want to say 2 years. And I'm not exaggerating that. I'm probably under exaggerating. I'm telling you guys, every time I would log on to Amazon to order a book from like an indie author or someone I was trying to, get a book to review here on this channel for you guys, this would come up as a recommendation. It was constant. One of those, down there at the bottom, at the bottom of the screen, they would recommend a read to you. This book was constantly in my recommendations. I want to say for 2 years. It was always there. So this year, at the beginning of this year, when I was like, I want to do this Christmas reading challenge thing, and this book was sitting there, I'm like, you know what? I need to purchase that and use it in the Christmas reading challenge. And so I did. The recommendation finally worked on me. There is the law of 7 in marketing these days. It used to be the law of 3. It would take 3 impressions of your ad or your message before a viewer or a reader would respond to the message. And now it's the law of 7. Someone needs to see your message 7 times before they will take an action. Apparently, I don't know how many times I saw it over those 2 years, but yeah. the law of 24 worked on me. There we go. All right. Next up, okay, the next two on this stack are my own books. And I have, of course, read my own books. But these two, one of them is Christmas, one of them is Valentine's Day, and they're in the Fairy Holidays series. These are the first two books in my Fairy Holidays series. I need to refamiliarize myself with the characters and the plot points and the beats in these, because book 4 in the series, Have Yourself a Fairy Little Christmas, is coming up. I've worked on it. An editor has helped me with some content fixes. There's some plot devices that needed to be fixed in it. So I'm making those corrections. It will not be done in time for this year's season. There's no way. So I'm going to be working on it for next Christmas. And in fact, well, there are ways I could release it prior to Christmas next year, but whatever. The point is, you can see there's all these like tabs and bookmarks and notes and stuff that I've got inside there, right? Yeah, because there are all these like plot points and story beats that I've got to have in my brain. So I have reread this, and I think I'm going to reread it again. And then My Fairy Valentine, I need to reread, because I've got to have these characters in my brain. I've got to have them so in there. You think I would just use the story Bible for the series, right? But I want all that in there. Now, I'm going to read them again, part of the 10 before the end. I'm not bringing you guys a review of my own books. I'm not going to do that. That would be weird. That would be very strange. I would not do that. That would be strange. But I'm going to read them. They're part of the 10, so they're on the stack. Next. This one is going to be so fun. This is There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Bell. This is a children's book by Lucille Calandro. And this one, look how cute and how fun, even with the ring light glare on it. How fun is that, right? This one will probably take me all of 2 minutes to read, but then I will share the fun, the Christmas exuberance with you guys here in December. Okay, that is all of the Christmas reading that I need to do before the end of the year. I've already got a couple of Christmas books that I've read. All I need to do is film the reviews for you guys. But there are some folks out there who get a little fussy if you put your Christmas content up before Thanksgiving. So I'm going to wait. And I will do the Christmas reading challenge content. I will begin that content in December, at least after Thanksgiving. Okay, that's the plan at this time. Now there are 3 more books on this stack. And if you're counting along at home, that has come to 11. Yeah. My 2 count as 1. Right. Next up is YouTube Secrets. And I'm in the middle of reading this one. And you would think, for as much time as I have spent on this book so far, you would think that this channel would be improving. You would think that this channel would have so much better content for you guys, that it would be, edited better. You just would think this, but it takes so much time. I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining. That's not what's happening here. I'm just saying, boy, does it take some time to build a YouTube channel. Yeah. But I will, when I get done with this book, whenever that does happen, hopefully before the end of the year, I will bring you guys a review of the content and what nuggets of value I could share with you guys here. All right. Also, 10 before the end will include this monstrosity, Dangerous Women. I think I mentioned in the October wrap-up that I was working on this one. Since October, I have not even gotten past where the bookmark is, the card that's there as a bookmark. I haven't even gotten back into it. I think what I need to do is DNF that short story and move on to the next short story so that I can keep moving through, because I'm just not enjoying the short story that I'm on right now. I don't care. And I think I'm stuck in the middle of that short story, and it's made me put this thing down. So what I need to do is just move on to the next one right? And continue on so I can finish that as one of the 10 before the end. And you guys, the final book on the stack of 10 before the end is Castle of Calamity with a big old glare. I want you guys to see this cover because it's really nice. Isn't that pretty? There's a lot of purple and blue happening there that just drew me in. I saw this book on X, Twitter. I'm so used to calling it Twitter. I saw this cover on Twitter. The author, Robert Stripe, he's one of my friends on Twitter. We share things from time to time. And I saw this and thought, wow, that's really cool. And I started paying attention. And then boy, there was some, I don't know what it was that he posted, but he posted some snippet from the book. And I went, okay, I need to check that out. And so I purchased it. That was like way back in, I want to say January, February. I don't know. It's been earlier in the year. I have finally started. I've finally just gotten into it and I'm on page 40, 41. So I'm not very far in yet, but I have gotten it started. So that is one of the 10 before the end that we're going to be reading and bringing to you guys here on the channel. There's supposed to be a dragon in it. If I understand correctly, there is a dragon. So it is part of the dragon reading challenge. That's it. You guys, that is the 10 before the end booktube tag with my cheating stack of books. I thank you for tuning in. Thumbs up for getting through some of the books on the TBR shelf. We got to whittle that thing down, right? All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys.